Okay, so okay, can you tell us a little bit more about how these two movies got made? What's the story behind these two movies?
Welcome to the Rallies and Unstoppable, two very different movies. And when Jake sat me down in a screening for Riley's, he said, "This isn't Unstoppable. It's very different." But I loved it. It comes from a place that I came from, when I was beginning making movies, and that's what I'd love to have the courage to go back to try and do. Which is a very in-depth, detailed character study, a sort of sad character study about Middle America, and I parallel it with so many people that I touch with in my life, whether it's my in-laws in North Carolina, and Jim Gandolfini I've worked with twice now, and he's the lead in the movie, and Kristen Stewart is fantastic, who plays. It is a very beautiful, very sad, touching examination of Mr. Everyman in Middle America today.
So, how would you describe your specific role as a producer on the Rileys?
I got my credit on the end of the movie.
And check the chair.
No, I didn't. I was never on the set. I read the script and I said I loved it. I loved the script and I loved it for Jake. And I think my only contribution was Gandolfini would be fantastic in this role. And so, it wasn't a big contribution actually on Riley's, other than I always support and Jake creatively and Marley, or whatever, however you want to call it. But I love what Jake is a superstar in terms. I steal from him all the time in his commercials and his videos. He's one. I'm the best plagiarist in the world. So, in reciprocating me stealing from him, we helped him get Riley's made.
How did you put the finance together on this one?
The financing was just in a different route, like with the Sammy route on Potsdamer. It was done. It was done from. We don't everything. We don't have to. We'd like to do everything through Fox because that is our home, and they look after us, and they pay for they pay for our development, and they look after our company. But what happens if you don't do a movie inside of Fox? Then there is a penalty to pay because they're covering for that period of time. So you have to pay. You have to pay a little penalty for not staying home. But most of our projects are with Fox, which is a good thing.
And so for Unstoppable, what's the how did it happen? That's Denzel Washington that brought you the script, right?
Denzel said, "What are you doing next?" I said, "I don't know." He said you should read this. Fox will be beating on my door with this, and I read it, and I said, "Well, we just worked on Trains." He said, "No, you got to read this. This isn't. It's what we did before was a hostage movie, and it's a detailed character study." He said, "This is insane. This movie starts at 50 miles an hour and ends up at 150." Had a great marriage in Denzel and Chris Pine. It's Colonel Kurtz, a black version of Colonel Kurtz, and it's Captain Kirk, and they're stuck in this confined space. It's almost like a theater production, and that's what was a challenge to me. It's these two guys. It's the old school, the new school. And it's very much a social comment on what's going on in America today in terms of, the old guys are being laid off to bring in the new young guys, and these two are two of the best, greatest actors in the world, stuck in this confined space at 80 miles an hour trying to track down this train, and they're trying to unfold their differences, So the challenge for me was to make the characters work at the same time make the action work. But that's a challenge, but it's also great for me because it affords me to go from character-driven to action. Character-driven to action. I've got great paint for my canvas and great colours to work with. So that's what I said. Damn, this is a great vehicle for what I love doing. And I say when you see the movie, you'll see. I've never done anything like it, even though I've been involved in Trains before. But it was the toughest movie and the biggest adventure of my life because 90% of the movie was actually shot at 70 miles an hour on a real train, and only 10% with Rosario Dawson was shot on stage, was shot in a normal manner. And I said, I'm not going to be inhibited by going 70 miles an hour on a train. I'm going to shoot it like I'm on a stage on this floor in here, and I'm going to do tracking shots and long lens, and so I shot everything in the same way I'd shoot. But that was hard, difficult. because it's dangerous as well, very dangerous, and very dangerous, not because of the stunts we're doing, but just somebody looking the wrong way, but you see it give this movie, and the movie's about real people in a real world. Every movie I'm inspired by people and research. So I go and find role models for my real people in the real world, and I tape record them, and then I shoot pictures, and then I take those people, and that informs me about the actors I want in the movie, and then I give those real people to my actors, and I say, this is who I believe you are in this movie, and I shot it in a real way. So you feel the weight, and you feel the tension, and the actors feel the drama of being in a train at 70 miles an hour with everything vibrating, with the wind, the noise, the door fell off at the back, and then I've got helicopters, then I've got camera cars, and then I've got now I've got all the toys. And we shot from September through till Christmas. It felt the right place to do it. And we shot the rain, the snow, and it all takes place in the course of 2 hours. But when you look at the movie, and we started in full green, went to full color, went to no leaves. But when you look at it, you'll say, God damn, nobody's questioning it yet. But I shot it in continuity. So I went from a green valley to now I'm really proud of it. It was a really hard movie to make, and hard I like. Hard challenges I like, adventures I like. But, I only maybe do 3 takes because that's all you can afford. Every time you got to reset that train, it's 40 minutes. So what I do, I lump together dialogue into big blocks, like 8-10-minute blocks, and actors love it. And the camera's never invasive in their process. It's all, I let them do what they do. So all their performances tweak and tune like they're in a real place, So all it does is highlight and lift that concept of being real, which then the public experiences that reality. I could have done it CG, but I didn't want to creatively. I said I don't want to. I want to, and that's one of my talents. I put people in the seat of a race car, in the seat of an airplane, on a motorcycle. I have the ability to do it and know how to do it. But most of all, that's why I love shooting with real elements. One of my next things I'm looking at is totally CG. It's a painting, something not this year. It's from the comics. It's all painting and CG.
And what was the most exciting professional experience?
Of all my movies,
Yes.
I think everything that's all overshadowed by the fact I've got 10-year-old twin boys. That's the most exciting. That is the most exciting and the most outrageous thing I've embraced in my life. My 10-year-old twin boys, and they're madmen, they're wild men, But on my movies, every day I wake up. You say, "What's the most exciting?" I sound like I'm being a good boy here, but I can't even go to work unless I've done my homework. So I wake up in the morning. For instance, now we're on daylight savings time. So I was in Pennsylvania this time last year. I wake up at 2:30, 3 o'clock every morning. I'm bolt upright, fear of creatively not making it work. So I do storyboards every morning from 2:30 to 3:30, or sorry, 2:30 to 4:30 or 5. I average 2.5 hours. Then I take a shower. Then I go to the set. Then I get everybody the storyboards, and I stand around in the cold and breath and name tags. But I think the most exciting thing for me is that waking up every morning, and it's a good excitement. It's a good fear, and I'm constructive out of that fear and out of that excitement.
Okay, all right. You do not have any questions?
No, my question to you is just say, I hope you guys like Unstoppable, and I think it's the most edge of seat I've ever done, and you'll see, but it's been great. The great performances with Denzel. 5 movies I've done with Denzel, with D, and he's fantastic, and Chris Pine and it's a great marriage. The pretty boy versus the old guard, and they are great, So I hope you like it.
Well, the trailer looks fantastic, so I'm sure that we'll like it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you tuned in next time. Goodbye.